Hello students, today we are going to discuss a chapter called Working of Institutions. In this chapter, we are going to discuss a topic called Office Memorandum, Mandal Commissions, opposite against the Mandal Commissions, and also the topic called Political Institutions. So let's start with the Office Memorandum. Now, what is called Office Memorandum? Office Memorandum is nothing but a government issues order. That government order is nothing but it can be termed as an office memorandum. Then, so then we'll discuss about the Mandal Commission. So then in this Mandal Commission, we'll discuss that it is headed by Dr. B.P. Mandal in the 1979 and also given the report called in the year called 1980. And in this commission, they talked about 27% government reservations to be government job reservations to be given to the social and economic backward class. So then let me tell you, here there was a people, right? What happened? Government, I'll tell you here, in 1989, in the Lok Sabha election, the Janata Dal government, the Janata Dal party, in fact, we will talk of, they promised that if they form the government, they will be promised they will be giving this reservation, and they have done that after winning the elections. So then, what happened? The people have reacted here. They have showed their opposition. They have protested. And Supreme Court came forward, and in the this case called Indira Savani and others versus the Union of India, they have given the decisions that the well-to-do person from the backward class should be excluded from the getting the reservations. Now, students, we'll talk about the political institutions. Now, political institution, when you talk of, is nothing but the arranging and carrying all the tasks of the country. That can be called as in the modern democracy as the institutions. Now, student, who this political institution can be in India can be categorized in the three category. That's called legislature, executive, and judiciary. The legislature happens to be the lawmaking body, executive happens to be the implementing body, and the judiciary happens to be the law to check the law and balance the law. Now, students, let's discuss the legislature. Now, students, legislature is nothing but a body of elected representative, and this body, what that does, in India it's called a legislature can be in National Assembly, can be called as a parliament. A student, parliament is basically, we'll understand, it's nothing but Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and president altogether. Now, student, what is the significance of parliament? Students, parliament is where is nothing but where we make the law of the country. And parliament control the government also for doing the government various decisions for benefiting the people, and also parliament also controls on the money matters. And student, here parliament also the highest forum discussions. Now, students, we have a different houses of parliament here. That's called Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha happens to be called the House of the People, and Rajya Sabha happens to be called the Council of States. Student, here we should know that Lok Sabha is a temporary body and elected every 5 years, and Rajya Sabha happens to be the permanent body. Now, student, this parliament, let me tell you, this parliament happens to be the two houses. Here, very important thing that we have to discuss here, that this Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, it happens to be the permanent body, and it is also represent the states. Now, student, next topic will come out discussing about the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha independently. As I told you, it's independent. Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha is elected by the people and exercises power, and also it has a 552 out of which 530 members are elected, and 20 members are from the Union Territory, and 2 members they come from the Anglo-Indian community appointed by the President of India. So at present we have a Lok Sabha total members happen to be 545, whereas the Rajya Sabha and the Council of States is happen to be total member happens to be 250, out of which we understand that 12 members are nominated by the President of India from the field of literature, art, science, service, and it's a permanent body, as I already told you, and 1/3 members retired every 2 years. Student, at present the Rajya Sabha has a 245 member. Now, the distinction about the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, already student I have discussed here. The above point, whatever I have discussed, I have done. Same point can be written down, and only the point that to be noted down here, that only the money bill can be introduced in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. And student, a very important thing that the Lok Sabha is more powerful than the Rajya Sabha. Now students, they come the political executive, that's called executive, next organ of the government. Now, executive is nothing but implementing the government policy made by the government in the parliament. Now, student, this executive can be divided into two parts called political executive and permanent executive. Political executive happens to be the political leader, and the permanent executive happens to be the IS officers or government officers. Now, student, here what we understand, the permanent executive, they assist the permanent political executive in making the government law and following all the government decisions. Now, student, here we understand here that appointment by the next topic is appointment by the President of India. The student President of India is he appoints the Chief Justice of India. He also appoints the judges of Supreme Court and High Court, and also he appoints the Prime Minister of the country, or also appoints the governors of the states, and also he appoints the election commissioners and ambassadors to other countries. Now, student, we can divide the council minister into three ministers: cabinet ministers, minister of states with independent charge, and minister of state. Then comes student the power of the prime minister. So then he chairs the cabinet meeting, he coordinates all the different departments, and his decisions is final on the disagreement between the departments, and he supervises the ministries, and also he distributes all the work under his leadership to the various ministries, and he also has the power to dismiss the ministers. And so a very important point here to be noted on that if a prime minister quits, the government quits. The council of ministers quits. Now, students, coalition government. Students, if that the prime minister, the power what he enjoys, he cannot enjoy this power in the coalition government as he likes. So that is the delimitations what we have in the formation of coalition government. That prime minister not enjoying the all fullest power that he do if he is forming a single majority party. Now, student, then comes the election procedure of the President of India. The President of India, student, is elected. He's elected by the electoral college. That member of the happens to be the member of parliament and all the members of the legislative assemblies. The student, the power of President of India. He is the head of the state. He's not, and he exercises all the nominal powers, and he supervises all the government. He President of India. He supervises. Now, students, as I was discussing, President supervises all overall functioning of the political institutions and all government decisions, all government activities taken in the name of the President of India. And student, let me tell you, all the laws, unless the President of India signs the bill, the law does not become a law, and he is the supreme commander of the defense forces also. The student, also we have some limitation on the powers of President of India. The President can ask the Council of Ministers to reconsider his advice, but if it is given back to him again, then he has to sign the bill. The money bill he cannot return to the this parliament. He has to sign the bill. And student, is very important thing here that parliament. That the president, the bill passed by the parliament can only become a law, as I told you that he only signed the bill. Now, American presidential system of presidential system we have in America. In America, what we have student here, the president is happen to be the head of the state and also the head of the government, and he is directly elected. And so, a very important thing that the president does not need to support the majority of the members, and he is not answerable to them. Now, student, when and how the President of India exercises discretions, very important thing here. That no party or coalition government gets a majority, then Lok Sabha, the president can exercise his discretion power, asking the appointed he can appoint a leader of his own opinion, and who can ask him to prove the majority in the Lok Sabha to form the government. Now, student, the last level of the government is called judiciary. Judiciary, student, is nothing but check and balance the law. The power of judiciary here is that Supreme Court is happens to be the highest power of the apex of the court. Then we have the High Court. Then we have the District Court. Then we have the local courts. Student, Supreme Court is said to be the guardian of Constitution, and also it solves all the disputes between the citizens, between the citizen and government, between the two and more states, and between the government and the union at the state level. And student is free from legislature and judiciary. Student, let me tell you that it can also interpret the Constitution, and also if any law made by the Parliament and also implemented by the executive is not according to the Constitution, then Supreme Court can declare that law is invalid, and that's called nothing but a judicial review, and also is the guardian of fundamental rights. And if any citizen, if his public interest is hurt, then he can go to the court and filing a litigation against the government. And the last part is nothing but that appointment and removal of the judges. Supreme Court and High Court judges are appointed by the President of India on the advice of Prime Minister, and also in the consultation of Chief Justice of Supreme Court. And the student, it has now let me tell you, also we can remove the judge of the Supreme Court and the High Court also by impeachment motion separately by 2/3 members of the Houses of Parliament if they pass the bill. So now, students, thus we come to conclusion and end of the chapter. Thank you very much.